Welcome to the Fleet Geeks podcast. We're here to help develop fleet and transport professionals. Do you want to progress and develop your skills and knowledge? We promise to bring lively conversation and debate around interesting issues and keep you bang up to date with changes in our awesome industry. The Fleet Geeks are a community of professionals, and if you enjoy the podcast, why not join the discussion for free in the Fleet Geek community over on Facebook.
Hello and welcome to this Fleet Geeks podcast. And I wanted to share with you 6 reasons why I've just renewed Flagship's First Aid for Drivers CPC course. Now, I think the Driver CPC courses can be a bit challenging at times, and I think there's a lot of opposition to Driver CPC, and we're obviously waiting for answers around what the future of Driver CPC looks like. But nonetheless, each course is entitled to a 12-month renewal cycle. And at the end of November, our existing period for our current First Aid for Drivers CPC course comes to an end. And I needed to make a decision as to whether to renew that for 12 months or not. And it certainly, there's an absolute good reason why I've chosen to do it. And I was reflecting on that because obviously we're still waiting to hear about what the future of CPC looks like, but I'm renewing it. And the reason I'm renewing it is actually one of our most popular courses. And that is aside from the 6 other reasons. There's 6 key reasons why you should value First Aid for Professional Drivers as a CPC course as well. And the first one is it enables drivers to be able to, or it enables road users to have an immediate response to accidents, right? So if a driver is properly trained in first aid, emergency first aid, they're able to offer an immediate response when something goes wrong, when something happens. And that's going to be one of your people that's able to help do that. So it's a great contributory factor from you as an organization to the greater good of road users, right? So I really think that's a key thing for business owners to think about when they're looking at their training plan. So the first one is very selfless. It's about being able to help support other road users for the greater good of everyone. The second one is it's really important to get response time as low as possible when it comes to emergencies. Now, if our HGV drivers who are out on the roads all the time are prepared and able to deal with emergencies and be able to help support people when there's incidents, illnesses, injuries in road traffic collisions, then that's going to reduce response time from, it's going to enable not reduce response time from ambulances, but what it means is that people will get care almost immediately because an HGV driver is going to be on the scene a lot quicker than what an ambulance is going to be, for example. So I really think that it's something we should look to promote with all professional drivers and people who drive for work. They should be first aid trained. The third one is being able to handle common roadside emergencies. So, it's quite common that there's incidents. It's quite common that people might be injured or ill on the roadside. And therefore, it's important to be able to support those people with immediate access to care. And HGV drivers will be able to provide that. So that's a really good third reason. The fourth one is about promoting a safety culture. So having a safety culture within your business and promoting to your people that their safety is important and being able to provide a safe environment for others and being able to commit to a safe environment on the roads as well. It enables you to be able to walk the talk when it comes to doing driver CPC training and being able to promote that within your organization, right? So I think it's a really, really valuable course in that sense because it really does promote and enable drivers to be well versed in safety. And it means that, their skills, not just that drivers can utilize on the roadside, they can utilize in their home lives as well. So first aid is a real gift for people as well. So absolutely vital. And then, the fifth reason I've suggested is it helps you meet regulatory requirements. Okay, so obviously there is a requirement around having first aid trainers, first aid trained people in the workplace and being able to provide first aid provision. So obviously training helps provide that. But there's a lot more reasons to do first aid than just because you're told to, right? And that's why I didn't want to finish on that note, because the piece de resistance, the sixth reason that I think is a really good investment for people, and this is very much about you as a business and you as an organization, And that is that it really does enhance your professionalism and reputation as an organization. If your driver is able to help support people roadside, because as an organization you've invested in them and you've been able to provide them first aid training and they're skilled at what they're doing, and they help intervene in a roadside accident, there's an injury, something like that, and it's one of your guys going, yeah, my company that I work for, they're highly invested in driver training, I'm fully able to come and help support this person and help save their lives, and the business that I'm working for is going to get the reputational benefit of having their business involved in the reports of the great work that I'm going to do roadside to help save this person's life, right? So there's just that element, but also the word of mouth element of drivers speaking to each other and going, do you know what, my company are amazing, they put us on our first aid course for Driver CPC, and do you know what, it was way better than some of the other first aid courses that I've been subject to, because I've got a life skill which is really valuable.
Hello, it's Shani from Flagship Partners. We are really proud to sponsor the Fleet Geeks podcast. If you need expert advice or training for your fleet business, make Flagship Partners your first choice. We are really excited to announce the launch of our Transport Manager Academy. With expert development for fleet leaders, we offer fully accredited initial Transport Manager CPC training, CPC refresher, and operator license awareness training, as well as mentoring, support, and professional development beyond the qualification. Our vision is to develop elite fleet professionals.
But I do think there is that opportunity, right? Because, certainly a good colleague of mine, he was an RHA HGV hero, did a fantastic job. I'm not going to mention names because I know that he's relatively shy about these things, but he did an absolutely fantastic job of helping support a driver who was in crisis and pulled over and was able to stop and talk and speak to the person to be able to help support them from a mental health point of view. And this is a good reason for mental health training as well, obviously. But obviously there was a lot of reputational benefit from that point of view of what occurred, because the driver was able to get was awarded an RHA HGV Hero Award, which is absolutely fantastic in recognition of such brave and giving behavior. And I think absolutely that professionalism and reputation are really, really important in our industry, and it takes a long time to build a reputation and not long to ruin one. And I think that first aid training is a really, really good, valuable investment for professional drivers and professionals within any situation as well, to be able to help provide that level of really important care and get people tended to first and foremost. So that's the reason I went for renewing it. It was a bit of a no-brainer for me. And also, there's many reasons aside from those 6 that I've suggested, actually, because in reality, drivers enjoy a first aid course. It's practical, it's interesting, it's different to their day-to-day stuff. They quite enjoy engaging with it, and they get to do some practical stuff. A lot of drivers don't like to sit on their backsides all day in a classroom listening to someone talk. So the first aid course is quite interesting. But alongside that, it's the expectation is that drivers have to do CPC. Well, at least there's some benefit from it. There's something that they really learn and get to take away, and it's something they maybe not come into contact with on their day-to-day stuff, so they can't just roll their eyes and go, oh, I already know this stuff, right? So lots and lots of benefits. From a first aid course point of view, Flagship obviously do driver-related CPC course where you can get a first aid certificate as well as a driver CPC day, and we do full proper first aid courses, which are the 3-day ones if you needed a first aid at work as well. But I think it's a while since I've talked about first aid, but it's a really valuable qualification. I've just re-qualified myself. I think it's a really valuable life skill. And also, I've just invested in a cell AED, which if you haven't heard of one, that's worth you investigating. I bought mine recently, and Maggie one as well. And a cell AED, as in a CELL, almost like a cell phone. Yeah, but a cell AED is essentially, it is due to arrive soon, actually. So I'll be able to show it maybe on a later podcast. But it's almost like a handheld defibrillator, which can fit in a handbag, a laptop bag, in your car and can travel around with you. And it means that you've always got a defibrillator on hand for you, and then you can subscribe to them as well, so that if you use it, it gets replaced. And if you also have a subscription, then when the batteries run out, they get replaced every couple of years as well. So it's like a personal defibrillator, which what a fantastic thing to provide your drivers with, for example, so that they can have a defibrillator in their vehicle. It could be used for them if they need it, if there's a situation, or it could be used roadside in the event of an accident or injury. First on site with a defibrillator ready to go. They're really cost effective. I think they're literally only a couple of £100. So an absolutely fantastic investment for anyone if they're interested. So if you're interested in that, Flagship don't sell those, but we can point you in the right direction. If you want to drop me a message, I can put you in touch with those. But really do think about first aid training for your drivers, whether it's with us or whether it's with another first aid provider. I think it's a really valuable thing, and that's why I've decided to renew. Even with all the uncertainty around Driver CPC, I felt that it was a really, really important course to renew, and hopefully listening to this will encourage you to go and renew or get for the first time your first aid qualification, because it is a really valuable course, and it lasts for 3 years. And it's very much like any other Driver CPC course. And with Flagship, you get lunch as well if you come to our premises. So all the more reason to come and enjoy it. Anyway, that isn't me doing a sales pitch. I'm just promoting the benefit of first aid for drivers, because I think it's a really valuable course. If anyone's got any questions or wants to find out more about what's involved in the first aid course, then please do get in touch, and I'd love to speak to you. If not, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please share with your friends and colleagues too. Join us for free on Facebook with the Fleet Geeks community for transport and fleet managers. Fleet Geeks offers ongoing professional development, networking and mentoring too. So get in touch with me, Pete Rushmer, on any social media platform to find out more.